Buying an espresso machine can be a very expensive experience, with prices running into thousands of dollars. It can be a bit daunting for the espresso newbie to get started. In our Breville Cafe Roma review video, we look at a more budget-friendly option from a fantastic manufacturer. Can the Cafe Roma make great espresso? Is it suitable for someone starting out on their coffee journey? We answer all the questions you have. Whilst not all home coffee experts give numerical scores, we have averaged these out. So, you can get a consensus opinion on how good it really is and know for sure if it is right for you. The Breville Cafe Roma Espresso Maker ESP8XL is for the beginner home coffee maker. Someone who wants a solid, reliable machine that can make cafe-quality drinks but doesn't cost the earth and is simple to use. It ticks a lot of boxes in that you can make single or double espresso, use ground coffee, pods, and you can steam your favorite style of milk. The downsides are that with a cheaper espresso machine comes compromises. You won't get the layers of flavor from your espresso that a more expensive machine can. The milk can be steamed to a good quality microfoam, but not professional level. The Cafe Roma doesn't use the pre-infusion, large dose, and precise temperature controls of the more expensive Breville espresso makers. For around $200, the Breville Cafe Roma espresso maker is a solid machine that's easy to clean and look after, easy to use, and reliable. It looks pretty good too, and is compact enough to fit in most kitchens. We think it does a really good job for the coffee lovers it's aimed at, which is all you can ask of a product at the end of the day. The Breville Cafe Roma is very simple to use, with an on or off button, and a dial for either espresso or steam. You can't go wrong. It's compatible with the ESP8XL too, so it can be as simple as putting a pod into the filter, fitting it to the machine, turning the dial, then turning it back after 20-25 seconds. You do have to manually tell it when to stop. Same as many espresso machines. But we all have stopwatches on our phones, if not our wrists. So timing 20-25 seconds is not complicated. It's obviously slightly harder if you're using ground coffee. Then you need to weigh it and tamp it down before fitting it to the machine and turning the dial. The dual-wall filter baskets help even out any mistakes when it comes to pulling your espresso shots too. It should almost always generate a great crema. If you're timing your espresso, and it's thin, and weak, you need to add more coffee or grind it more finely. If it's very bitter, then slightly less coffee or a slightly coarser grind should do the trick for you. Milk steaming is manual, and you don't really get any assistance there. But milk frothing for a latte or a cappuccino really isn't difficult. Get a thermometer so you don't burn your milk, and watch a couple of YouTube videos, and you'll be a pro in no time at all. The steam isn't good enough to make a truly professional level cappuccino, latte, or flat white, but it will make a decent foam and a nice milk texture. The Cafe Roma espresso maker uses ground coffee but also has a special filter basket for using pods if you prefer. For the best quality results, you'll need to use freshly ground espresso beans. However, if you're just looking to save money by making your morning cappuccino at home, then the pods are cheap and easy to use. There's also the bonus of minimal mess. We always recommend using freshly ground coffee. The volatile oils that add so much of the flavor to your espresso evaporate within 45 minutes of grinding. This means a fresh ground will always taste better than pre-ground coffee. We appreciate that this means buying an extra piece of kit. There are some really good manual coffee grinders available, even at the budget price. Just make sure you get one designed for grinding espresso. The budget espresso machine market is flooded with black plastic machines accented with stainless steel. The Cafe Roma is a nice change, being mainly made from brushed stainless steel, giving a more premium feel to your budget machine. You still have plastic elements, but they're very much in the minority and don't spoil the overall aesthetic. I'm not a huge fan of the big dial on the front. Yes, it means it's very easy to use, but it just doesn't look as nice. I'd prefer two buttons, but then maybe the front would look really weird and empty. It's not a deal breaker by any stretch and pretty standard on the more entry-level espresso machines. This is also a really compact machine. It's 9x9x12, so even the smallest kitchen should have space for a good espresso machine. If you want to use the warming tray on the top of the machine, you will need to check the clearance with your cabinets, but it should be fine. Being able to see the water level from the front of the machine is also a nice touch, as it's not so common on entry-level models. Overall, the simple design will work pretty well in almost any kitchen. It's worth spending more on a Breville because the build quality is so high. The Cafe Roma espresso maker doesn't disappoint in this area either. Being mainly stainless steel, everything feels sturdy and well made. Even the plastic elements feel pretty solid. The one issue we have is that the espresso maker is too small for large mugs. So if you're making a latte or something to go in a tall cup, You need to pour the espresso into a small cup first. There are some who say you can't make lattes, as you need to wait for the boiler to heat up to steam the milk. I don't think this is fair, as it isn't that slow. You can comfortably make yourself a latte with this machine. The thermoblock boiler works admirably, heating up quickly and switching between coffee and steam with a perfectly reasonable waiting time. You will find machines costing thousands with only one boiler that makes you wait between coffee and milk. It would be very harsh to criticize the Cafe Roma for such a thing. You have to be willing to measure your grounds, tam, etc., preferably after grinding your beans yourself. You can of course just use ESP8XL and make life incredibly simple for yourself, though the quality suffers. To get the best from the Cafe Roma, you need to get a grinder too. That is the trade-off. Cheaper machines can't make as good espresso, milk foam. Are you happy with good but not great? Is the $200 saving to the Bambino worth it for the quality dip? This is what our Breville Cafe Roma review video comes down to. This is a fantastic espresso machine that should last a good 5 years or so with no issues. Much cheaper than a daily latte at global coffee giants. We are going to end this video right away. If you have any query or information to share, please leave a comment below. Thanks for watching.